Chicago Bears fans deserve better than this. Yesterday's loss is on the coaches. There's no way that anyone who understands football can watch yesterday's game between the Lions and Bears and blame anyone but this coaching staff. Up late in the fourth quarter, this coaching staff coached scared. The Bears took it to the Lions for 3.5 quarters, and even though they were constantly shooting themselves in the foot with bad play calls and untimely penalties, Justin Fields and this defense stepped up, and the Bears led 26-14 with less than 5 minutes to play. You cannot ask to be in a better position to win a football game. A 2-score lead with just 5 minutes to play, and the coaches threw this game away. They coached scared. The defense was playing back and letting the Lions march down the field, and Luke Getsy called the most predictable plays he has all season long, and that's a guy who called 4 screens in a row at one point, so that's saying a lot. With the game on the line, these coaches prove they do not belong. I have stuck by Matt Eberflus and Luke Getsy for a long time, but yesterday Getsy proved to the world that he is in over his head as a play caller at the NFL level. There's no other way around it. He was simply awful. Meanwhile, Justin Fields was a warrior and led his team to what should have been a huge upset victory over the Lions, but the coaches found a way to choke away a 12-point lead with just 5 minutes left. Don't even try to blame it on Fields' fumble. That was after we allowed 2 touchdowns in 3 minutes, took the ball out of Fields' hands, and it effectively lost the game. There was 20 seconds to march down the field, and Darnell Wright, who had dominated Aiden Hutchinson all game long, got beat badly for one play, and that's all fans are going to remember. It's sad. It's plain and simple, though. These coaches gave the game away. It was deflating as a fan base, and honestly, Bear fans deserve better. Justin Fields and the players on this roster deserve better. The city of Chicago deserves better. We outplayed the Lions for 3.5 quarters. Jared Goff threw 3 interceptions for the first time since 2019 and had 2 more go through Jalen Johnson's hands. Justin Fields was easily the best quarterback on the field in yesterday's game. But the Lions clearly have the better coaching staff, and we found the biggest difference right now between the Bears and the Lions. Other than being a full year behind in the rebuild, I no longer believe we have the right coaches to finish the job. Still up in the air on Matt Eberflus, but I am out on Luke Getsy. I don't care if he turns it around and gets better. He's been too bad for too long, and his mistakes yesterday were inexcusable. DJ Moore had 9 targets. Darnell Mooney only had 1. He called around 15 designed runs for our quarterback who's coming back from an injury. It's just inexcusable. But then Getsy shut down in the biggest moments of the game. He tucked his tail between his legs when this team had a chance to step on the Lions' throat and win. After Justin Fields bailed us out and scrambled for 30 yards on a 3rd and 13, and again made another huge play, what did Luke Getsy do? Take the ball out of his hands and run 5 straight times. There were so many awful play calls late in this game. I'm just still in disbelief that the coaches managed to blow it. I'll be breaking it down in the All 22 this week, but it's just disgusting. And then on another note, I think wide receiver might be even a bigger need than I thought. It's definitely our biggest need, in my opinion. You need multiple weapons in the NFL, and Darnell Mooney and Tyler Scott were both non-existent yesterday. Mooney had 1 target and made a big catch. Scott had 2 targets. One of those he caught for a 4-yard catch that he fumbled, and on the other one he stopped running when he was wide open for what would have been the biggest play of the game. No excuses. We need better play from our receivers that are not named DJ Moore, and I think we need a new coaching staff. It's too late for Luke Getsy. This team cannot learn how to It's too late for Luke Getsy. This team cannot learn how to win football games when the coaches are actively working against them and scared to win. In all my life as a Bears fan, I don't know if I've ever seen a more detrimental performance by a Bears coaching staff than what I saw yesterday. And that's saying a lot. I've witnessed Mark Trestman and Matt Nagy turn this into a clown show. But here we are. After the players on the field earned a victory in Detroit, these coaches gave it away, and Justin Fields said it best. Honestly, we should have won that game. The talent on this roster and the team that Ryan Poles is putting together is obvious. They outplayed the division-leading Detroit Lions yesterday. They should have came away with a huge upset win on the road. Instead, we're stuck with a very familiar feeling of hopelessness and despair. Feels like we were gut punched and it's deflating. I think a lot of you will feel like I did. When the Lions were marching down the field in the fourth quarter, I just had the feeling and kind of knew that we were going to lose that game. I had people in my live chat talking about how big of a win this was, and I said it to them then. This game's far from over, and then watched in horror as my fears came true. Luke Getsy should be fired, period. He's simply had too many chances and repeatedly shown that he's in over his head and does not understand how to call plays in the NFL. I think Andrew Janocko should be promoted to offensive coordinator and Luke Getsy should be unemployed. Matt Eberflus, it's tough. I almost want to fire him too for allowing 2 touchdowns in 4 minutes. None of these coaches are innocent right now. The job of the coaching staff is to put players in the best position to succeed. And that is exactly the opposite of what these guys did yesterday. Well, they did it for 3 quarters. They put him in a position to win this game. Kind of. Part of it was Justin Fields making some unbelievable plays like his touchdown pass to DJ Moore and some of his big scrambles. But the players outplayed the Detroit Lions, and they should have won that game. But the coaching mistakes and pathetic play calling by Luke Getsy sabotaged their efforts. There's no excuse for these coaches right now. I would like to hear some accountability from them. They better not try throwing players under the bus like Matt Nagy did. This is on the coaching staff, period. Anyone telling you different does not know football. Think about it this way. Let's look around the NFL. After week 6, the Bears, Broncos, and Vikings were all 1-4. Sean Payton got things on track in Denver, and he fought their way back to 5-5 record, and they now have a shot to play in the postseason. And the Broncos aren't that talented. What about the Vikings? They were 1-4, and then they lost their 2 best players on the roster in Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson. They traded for Josh Dobbs at quarterback, and here they are at 6-5 with a chance to make a run for the playoffs. The head coach rallied those teams and put them in positions to win. Coaching really does matter. Look at the Raiders, who were the worst team in football until they fired Josh McDaniels. Since they fired their head coach, they destroyed the Giants 30-6. They beat the Jets in primetime and then played a competitive game yesterday against the Dolphins, only losing by 7. But here we are with Matt Eberflus still saying the same things he said last year. We are close. We got to look at the tape. Yeah, that's true. We were close to winning that game. We should have won that game. But it's not the players' fault we lost. It's the coaches who cost us, and that is just simply inexcusable. But yes, this team did show us all yesterday that they can compete against the Detroit Lions and some of the better teams in the league. A couple of weeks ago, people were laughing at that thought, but yesterday we proved it. Unfortunately, we also proved that our coaches are not the same caliber and change may be needed. I'm going to leave you with a final stat that shows just how awful of a loss yesterday was. Matt Eberflus made history with his bad coaching. Since 1932, no team in the NFL has ever had a +3 turnover ratio and 40+ minutes of time of possession and lost the game. Until now. Under those circumstances, teams were 48-0. Matt Eberflus is now the first coach in NFL history to lose a game while having 40+ minutes of possession and a +3 turnover margin. Way to make history, Flus. Just wow. This fan base deserves better. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Please hit that like button for me. And until next time, bear down.
What's up, Swift? It's Kyler Gordon. Just want to do a quick shout out to Swift Sports Network with all the latest news on the Bears. Keep doing your thing. Just hope you have a good day, man. And I just want to say, bear down.